episodes, Lou. Whoop, whoop.
I think so, yeah. We got there
Yeah.
finally. 10 more to
Um,
come.
I know, mate. I know. Today is going to be our review of a Grand Prix. I think we can call it that. A
Mm,
Weatherfest.
literally, loose terms Grand Prix. Yeah.
Yeah. But first, we just want to say like a massive congratulations to the England Lionesses.
Oh, fantastic.
Um,
Absolute
man,
brilliant. Back to
mate,
back European champions. How good does that sound?
it's not even that, mate. They've proved that England can actually beat Spain. What about the men? Men are awful.
Yeah. Do you know what's weird though? We'll have to do a podcast on it because I don't get where we go from having the under 19s, I think it was. They won the tournament. We've got the women winning tournaments. Us, the
Yeah.
men, just seem to falter. I don't get why. I don't
Yeah,
understand why.
I don't know. I don't understand where it goes wrong between 19s, 21s, and men. But
Egos, maybe.
a little stat, mate. Did you know Lucy Brun played the whole tournament with a fractured tibia?
Yes, I did.
Damn, I
L-
thought I got you on a good start there.
Lucy Bronze would run through brick walls for that shirt. She's that good. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be a
yeah. I'm
shame.
glad they won.
I think you might find she'll retire now at 33, sail off into the
I think,
sunset with 2 Euros medals, which would be a shame. But
yeah,
she's served the country absolutely immaculately. Probably one of the best players we've had over the last 10 years.
yeah. I think Beth Mead might follow suit as well.
Yeah, well, I think Beth Mead's only 30, if I'm right in saying that. So she
Yeah, she's
may
probably got a
squeeze
World
the
Cup in
World
her.
Cup out of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Right. So yeah, congratulations to the Lionesses beating Spain on penalties again. I think every match went to extra time. It's not good for
Serena
the heart.
Wiegman, mate. Serena Wiegman, 3-3. That is some stat.
Well, she's done, what is it, the last five major tournaments? She's been in the final in every single one.
Correct, yeah.
Two for
She's won the
Netherlands and three for
she's lost
England.
lost in the finals of the Worlds twice. And
Hmm.
she's won the Euros 3 times, once with her own country being the Netherlands and then twice with England. So for me, I get she's not English, but she needs to be knighted and we should be getting a statue of her.
Can't have been too, couldn't get her in charge of the men.
I agree.
Right, so the Grand
Uh,
Prix. Yay.
woohoo!
So, sprint quali. We had a sprint race this weekend.
We did.
Sprint quali was actually really interesting, to be honest. Did you
Um,
watch it all in the end?
I didn't know, so I'm gonna let you lead this one
So
because
in
I
the
didn't
sprint
get a
quali,
chance.
with the sprint quali, you got to Q. I mean, Hamilton was out in Q1. In Q3, which is the like top 10 shootout, like you had both Hasses were in there, Hajar was in there, Bortoletto was in there. So it was drivers that you wouldn't naturally assume would be up there. But
Albon
it's
was in
because
there.
Russell went out in two, Antonelli went out in two, Hamilton went out in one, so it gave them a chance to be in there. But when it comes to the sprint race, with the exception of what Max overtaking Piastri on, was it corner three? Nothing
Yeah,
else happened.
no.
Um,
Do you know
and
what's
I
weird
think
though?
that's
That
what.
that that was the third sprint race of 6 of the season. 15 laps around Spa, which for me is probably one of the best circuits out there. I love Spa. What's
Yeah,
weird is that Lewis Hamilton held the record there for the fastest lap ever until obviously Piastri's absolutely flying lap of 1 minute 40. And I
yeah,
was just like, wow. And
yeah.
to put that into perspective, that's 7 tenths quicker than Lewis's fastest lap round there. That was just, that was
Norris,
insane.
Norris went quicker than that as well. Then,
Yeah,
my God,
yeah.
Jesus!
And this is how good
Not
the
have
McLarens
one
are.
driver beat you.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah. So, like we said, the sprint race was. I think that was the only overtake. Was Max on Piastri? Oh no, sorry,
Um,
Norris on. Was it Leclerc or Russell?
yeah, no, it was
No,
Leclerc,
two
wasn't it?
overtakes.
Because
It's just,
Leclerc, Norris retook it back, didn't he? Because Leclerc took the place from him.
yeah. So like two overtakes in 15 laps.
Yeah, I tell you what was weird again though. Another Formula One where we've not got a full grid starting. I mean, Pierre Gasly had engine issues already before the race even started. So we started
Yeah.
from the pit lane, didn't come out, and then decides to join on lap 3. And I'm thinking, okay, brilliant. He's out in clean air. He's getting a little test run. But what is the actual point in this?
Just stick around until you qualify, which is what, a few hours later.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think.
no, I'll use a set of my soft tyres just to bed them in a little bit. Oh, go on, mate, crack on.
See, I think personally with sprint races, they do sprint qualifying on a Friday. Why not do the race on a Friday? Because, like you said to me, people are very cautious because qualifying's a few hours later.
Yeah, you can't afford to have a smash and damage any bit of that car where your team are under pressure to get it ready for 2-3 hours later for qualifying.
So
It was,
just have one practice, sprint qualifying, sprint race, practice 2 on Saturday morning, and then qualifying.
do you know what the best thing they could do if they want to do the sprint on a Saturday? Do the qualifying as normal. Do the sprint on Saturday afternoon, but have no qualifying for the race. Wherever you finish in that sprint is where you start the Grand Prix.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Because I don't like. There were so many overtakes that were there, and people are going, "Yeah, I'm going to be a bit cautious. I'm just going to sit behind. I'm not going to put my nose in there." Now, if that's the Grand Prix, they're going, "Well, forget that. I'm going down there. He can suffer." So I
Yeah,
just didn't.
especially race class.
I like the sprints. I just don't know if it's something that needs adapting to get more from it.
Yeah, yeah, I like sprints. So then, like I said, the Hasses did really well. They Ocon and Behrman tried something a little bit genius, but it didn't work. Where Ocon sort of kept Behrman within like
The slipstream.
the slipstream, but he was just Ocon was like 5th, I think, and Behrman finished 8th. So that it didn't quite work how they were hoping it to.
No. See, for me, I think the weirdest thing of the sprint race early on that we noticed is that even though the two McLarens were the quickest cars of the weekend, they seem to have a totally different setup for the sprint race.
Yeah,
I mean, like Norris had some speed and some Piastri though. When he opened that rear wing to try and catch Verstappen, and was getting nowhere near him, I'm thinking, hang on a minute, mate, you've got DRS here, and you're not getting anywhere near him. What is going on?
yeah,
That was strange.
it was strange. It's like, yeah, I couldn't work that one out myself either. To be honest, it's like once Max got in the lead, he was gone.
Yeah,
And in the race, we'll get to the race, but in the race, with the exception of having that little tiff with Leclerc halfway around, he wasn't nowhere. He was just hanging off George Russell most of it.
yeah. I mean, I think even there weren't much going on in that sprint race. It was probably the most boringest one I've seen. But you still have to take your hat off to people like Ocon, Sainz, Behrman, Hadjar, Bortoleto, who was all in that middle of the field from 5th to 9th. Yeah, every single one of them held that position. They owned it. And you sort of go, brilliant, love that. I think Hamilton, again, had another issue, whether it's qualifying, sprint race. For some reason, he always seems to have a problem. Oh, I've got no rear tyres already on lap 8. I'm thinking, well, mate, you've still got seven laps to go here. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I saw that radio call in the sprint race. My tyres are going. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What have you actually been doing? You've not been racing nobody.
Wow, that's it, innit?
So then we go to the qualifying. So we've got Q1, Lewis Hamilton 8, because he had his time deleted, I believe.
Yes.
I mean,
Exceeding
from what I
Which-
saw, it was really, really close, really tight.
No, it's not.
Oh, is he not?
No. On the original photo that you see, it looks like it's a harsh call. When you actually see the different angle from Sky Race Control from the FIA, he's actually got all 4 tyres off the racing track. So I'm sorry, I agree with him. He's that's not even exceeding track limits. That's called taking the piss.
I mean, who else went out in Q1? Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Kimi Antonelli.
Yes.
Nico? Did Nico Hulkenberg go out? Oh, no, Carlos Sainz.
No points, wasn't it yet?
Yeah, Hulkenberg just creeped in. Sainz, for me, he's not a qualifier, he's a racer.
Yeah, I'd agree with that statement.
Apart from Ferrari, he's never been a qualifier. He's always been great in a race.
Well, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because he's not a bad driver, but for some reason, if you put him in qualifying, he just doesn't seem to want to know. He's happy to sit in that midfield. He goes, "Oh, I'll do my bit in the race," and you sort of think, well, like, surely you can put yourself in a better position to try and win the race.
Yeah, yeah. Q2, we lost George Russell, obviously. Obviously Nico Hulkenberg, Pierre Gasly, I believe.
Yeah,
Trying to think of the other two were. There's two more that went out.
trying to think now.
Bortoleto got into Q3.
Yes,
Ocon and Behrman got into Q. Ooh,
It-
no, they didn't, did they? It was Ocon and Behrman, wasn't it?
I think yeah, but I think they both just missed out, didn't they?
Yeah. You know, which for me is an achievement itself to get, you know, what was the worst car on the track for the last 3 seasons. They've I don't know what they've done this year.
Yeah, so in
But
Q2, it was Behrman, Hulkenberg, Sonoda, Stroll, and Ocon.
Sonoda. See, Sonoda had a good qualifying weekend.
Yeah,
All right, not in the sprint qualifying, but in the actual main qualifying, I think he's done a hell of a lot better this weekend than he has any other weekend that I've seen him.
well, every now and again he has this decent drive, doesn't he? But he doesn't ever seem to do anything with it, and you sort of like you know there's more there, and I don't think it's him. I don't think it's the car. There's something there where like I don't know. Has he got to let the handbrake off and just go for it? I really don't know.
See, they were saying on Sky Sports the other day, we was talking to somebody about his sprint qualifying, and he was like, "Oh, Max has had quite a lot of upgrades compared to me," and I
Yeah,
was like, "Why? Why? You Christian Horner always said there was never number one, never number two. Give them both the same.
and that's
You
it.
can afford. Well, they can't afford it. They can't afford it. Red Bull are seriously overspending cap for the last few seasons, so they've got to watch what they do this year.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's letting them down this year.
It's tough because, like you say, they're trying to compete, aren't they? And when you're trying to compete, it's always difficult with them top teams, and they're not competing to be a top team. But you look at some of them and you go, if they had the budget of these top teams, could they be competing? Because in race scenario and race days, they're always there or thereabouts.
Yeah, actually, yeah. See, like the Racing Bulls had a good weekend. Lawson and
Oh,
Hadjar.
very,
You know,
very good
I
weekend.
think Lawson. That was the best I've seen Lawson drive, qualifying and race.
Yeah.
And Hadjar, his strategy for tyres let him down.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You know, but we'll come to. I mean, I've got that down in my race part of notes. My notes are
Yeah.
literally one page. That's how good this race was.
Yeah, it's like I said, it wasn't gripping, was it? It wasn't exciting. It wasn't sort of anything. There was a few moments where you look and you go, yeah, okay, they're notable, but it wasn't one of them where you go, I'd sit there and watch that again. So, yeah, it was for a course that's my favourite, and you normally get a lot of action, a lot of thrilling moments. It just didn't live up
Great
to
overtakes and
expectation.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't live up to expectation this time for me.
So
But
then
that
we got
being
to
said,
Q3.
obviously, well, yeah, go on. Oh, carry on.
Carry on, mate. With that being said, what?
I was going to say, in the sprint race, obviously, it's weird because obviously, well, go on. We'll do your bit first because what I'm about to say will conclude that bit, so it ties in well.
So yeah, with Q3, you were missing quite a few big names again, like the sprint quali.
Yeah,
Max, I don't know what it was, but Max, he just couldn't get off fourth. He put it in fourth, and that was it. He just sort of went, "I'm done."
yeah,
I think Charles Leclerc had an absolute brilliant qualifying. He showed what a Ferrari can actually do. I think you got the McLaren boys, straight at the front, probably never going to be caught.
But like you say, after that,
in the top 10.
yeah, again, the four names that are on the top four, obviously, Norris, Piastri, Leclerc, and Verstappen. You expect them to be there. George Russell, again,
Yeah.
you expect him to be in there. But when you've got people like Albon, Sonoda, Hadjar, Lawson, Bortoleto, they're not people you would normally expect to see in that top 10. And I don't
No.
think enough mentioned that how good a drives they've had to put themselves in that position.
Yeah. I mean, I did actually make notes about like the Haas boys, Hadjar, Bortolet. So they were all they was the ones that I really went. They stood out for me.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just, I mean, your sprint race, I think it was Q2. Piastri went qualified ninth, and then went and got pole. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. And when it comes to Q3 in the actual main qualifying, he was like a man possessed. Yeah, he just couldn't get Lando.
It's mad because, like, I mean, you look at in that Q3, the timings were pretty close, to be fair. I think you had Norris on a 140.5, you had a Piastri on a 140.6, and I was going, geez, 1/10 of a second difference. And then I think it was the same between Leclerc and Verstappen. It was even tighter. They both did a
Yeah,
140.9, and when they went down to, I think Leclerc's was a 140.9 dead, and I think Verstappen was 0.003 of a tenth of a second over. It was just like,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. And then when they went for that final run, he just sort of sat in the garage, didn't he? And didn't. I'm not going to
Yeah.
get any iron fourth.
I think like it's weird seeing Verstappen like that because normally he's competitive, but like he seems to have this thing at the moment where he's like he's not bothered. He's just content with okay, yeah, I'll sit here and this is where I am. That'll do. Which it
I think he's
isn't.
trying to leave him, mate.
Is what? Sorry.
I think he's resigned himself to leave him. He's like, well.
He could well have been. I mean, it'd be a shame, you know. But
I,
if that's his preference, that's his preference. But where
I
does he
mean,
go?
one of my notes I put down, mate, was this is the last race before the summer break. Yeah.
No,
Well,
there's one
half of
more.
them drivers. Oh, is there one
You've
more? Oh,
got,
okay.
yeah, I think you
I'm going
got
to say
Hungary
one
next.
was half of them drivers already on holiday.
Um, I think the that part of it, the holiday, that break will show a lot. Because I think the teams will come back, and I think it'll be like restarting the season again. You'll get a couple of iffy moments that are tight, and then it all phase out as it always does. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not good. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good race.
I can see one person not on the grid after the summer break, but not at the team he's at now.
Franco Colapinto, by any chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been
He's
saying it
he's
for
he's done
weeks,
what he's
haven't we?
meant to have done, but he's still in a better car than where he should be.
He just doesn't like. I get he's a rookie and it's his first season, but like you aren't in the worst car on that track. You're in a mid-running car, like, and you're making that car look like it's absolutely difficult to drive. You're making
Yeah.
that car look like it belongs at the bottom of the table when it just doesn't. And again, I don't know
Yeah.
whether that's him trying too hard. Is he pushing too hard? Maybe he needs to do a Bearman and just relax a little bit and go, well, you know what? I'm not gonna push the car beyond my capabilities because obviously we know the car's got more to give, but he's pushing it
Yeah.
beyond his capabilities.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the problem is when you got Pierre Gasly, who for season after season after season, he's sort of one of those drivers that goes under the radar.
Yeah, massively.
Um, massively. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I know it probably won't happen, but I'm going to have a bit of a punt here and say I wouldn't be surprised if him and Yuki spot places.
Who's that?
Yeah, Gasly to Red Bull,
It's a
back
shout.
to Red Bull,
It's
and
a
then
shout.
Yuki to Alpine.
Another
I know they're not
crash party.
a brother sister part of company, but
It could well be. I prefer Gasly in a better car.
yeah,
Sonoda's
I just
like,
don't think.
I don't know. He just seems to not handle them big moves. Every time he's given a big move up, he seems to take away from who he is. He don't seem to race the same way.
Yeah. Right. Then we get to. Well, we've already explained Hamilton's poor qualifying. It was. Yeah. Like I said,
Again,
I
like,
thought it was closer than it was, but after you said it wasn't, I was like, okay.
I'll have to try and find the image and we can share it on the group for those that are probably
Yeah.
thinking the same as you. Because I thought the same. I was like, well, that's a bit harsh. And then when you actually see the FIA screenshot of what they've shared and said, this is why we've come to this conclusion, you look and you go, Yep. Okay, mate.
Oh,
You could have put a barrier between yourself and the White Lion. So, yep, I understand it.
yeah. So then we get to the race.
Well, just before you
Now,
get to the race, obviously, the front two, obviously, Piastri and Max. Weirdly enough, Piastri is the best point scorer this season in sprint races, and Max is the best point scorer ever in sprints, both on the front row.
wow.
Yeah. Interesting stat, that.
Yeah, because Max has always been in the top three, hasn't he, as the sprint races?
Yeah, he just seems to love it. And to be fair, if you was going to say to me, give me a driver that, you could trust over 15, 18 laps, Max Verstappen's your man. As soon as he's on that front row, he makes a good start. And if he can get in front, you ain't catching him.
No. Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
But to take the lead on the opening corner, well, I think 4 corners in, you look and you go,
yeah, it was 4 corners, yeah.
Wow.
Piastri held him he was miles behind Piastri on the first, then he made a mistake. Then on the third, he was like, I'll have a look. Then he didn't. And then on the fourth, he went for it.
Yeah, and again, Red Bull have come this weekend, haven't they, to Max's car, and he's got extra downforce. They've altered the wings slightly, and I tell you what, it seemed to work for him until it come to race day. Race day was a totally different kettle of fish.
Yeah, and like we said, was it last week when we was talking about Max being good in the rain?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know there was no rain while he actually during the race, but he just, like I said, unless it would come to that fight with Leclerc or then holding off Russell, he really didn't do a fat lot.
No.
He sort of just resigned. I'm in fourth. I'm going to stay in fourth.
Again, I think like it's almost like he's already, I don't know if he just wants to get to the summer break to have a refresh and go again, or whether he's just already admitted that he ain't going to win the title. I really don't get it. It's a weird outlook.
I think personally it's between 2. I can't see Max in it.
Everyone knows who we're talking about. Both McLaren boys are there, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't see either of them being caught.
Okay. It's going to take something seriously wrong for Piastri to lose it now.
Again, I'd probably agree.
Because, he was screwed over at Silverstone and he's won the last 2.
Again, he's used the fuel to feed his fire, and fair play to him.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we get to the race today, you missed a charity football match for it. I rushed home from work and we both turned the TV on and went,
yeah. Formation lap, let's go. I'm thinking, I thought, this track's wet. This could be another good spa day. This could see who handles it well. No, we're going to abort the race on the formation lap because there's 5% visibility. Every driver's complaining. I'm thinking, do you know what? It's probably the right thing to do, yes. I mean, I think the one call was from George Russell saying, I'd rather the safety car go further ahead than normal so we can drive a bit quicker to try and dry the track out. And I'm thinking, as good as that sounds, if you're driving a little bit quicker, how many cars on that grid are going to spin and spin out because not all of you can handle the wet? So I think aborting it. Go on, sorry. You're going to mention 1998, aren't you? The start.
No, I was going to say, do you remember the one where, what was it? I can't remember what track it was, but they all come round to a corner and they all sort of slid off. Everybody just slid off in the same area.
Yeah.
And a spiker was leading for 20 laps. It was like, what?
There's a few memes going around of things like that with Max Verstappen kicking wheels and all sorts, and I'll have to try and find it. It is actually quite hilarious. Yeah.
So you know what? When I saw the rain and they were talking to, I think it was Nico Rosberg on Sky, and it just took me back to 2019 where they did 7 laps behind the safety car so they could at least do a race.
Yeah, rather than abandon the race and try and fit it in the calendar at some other point.
Yeah. But
again,
I mean, I was listening and you said it as well that they might have to suck up and cancel the race at one point because the rain was that heavy.
Yeah. I mean, fair play. The gods decided that we were going to get some racing, and to start with, it was poor, was crap. But yeah, we got there in the end, and I don't know, man. Probably aborting it might have been a better day. I don't know.
Do you believe that it should have been a standing start or a rolling start?
I'd have liked to have seen a standing start, but I understand the principle behind it. The water on the track at the time was still that wet. That first corner's
Yeah.
quite sudden and tight. Again, look at 1998. The track was soaking then. Look how many people crashed in
Yeah.
that first corner. So
Yeah.
I get it, but I don't know about the rolling start. Yeah.
I know they went against the standing start because the left hand side, which was pole position, was soaking, wasn't it?
Yes.
And they were saying that all the drivers that side were going to have a bit of a moan if they'd started and they'd
But
lost
no,
places.
this goes back to the whole thing of you've got rules and they're there for a reason. So they've adhered the rules. Obviously, we spoke about it the other day. Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, when Verstappen was what's different today?
Yeah,
I mean, like,
that's true. Yeah,
I'm glad it didn't happen because I'd like to know if pole position was on the dry side of the track, whether they'd done a standing start or whether they'd still done a rolling start.
yeah. I don't know. I don't think they would have done. I think it still would have been a rolling start.
Well, like I
I
said,
mean,
we'll never know. But I just think it was done because they don't want the pole sitter to then moan that he's in pole and he's had no advantage. Whereas if it's on the dry
yeah,
side of the track, he's still got the advantage, hasn't he? So,
yeah.
devil's advocate, I'd like to have, if I could reverse time and change something, that's what I'd do. I'd change the dryness of the track to the opposite side just to see whether we are going to get a rolling start still.
Well, to be honest, it made no difference anyway because once the rolling start happened, they went round the corner quite close, Lando and Piastri, and then coming up on Rouge, Piastri had him.
Yeah.
He went on the outside and he cut straight across. And it was one of the best moves I've seen in a while. All right, we found out afterwards it was because Lando's battery pack wasn't working. I don't know what that was all about. We had to use so much behind the safety car. Why?
Why are you using a battery pack behind a safety car? I don't get that.
You're going to
Who's trying to
save fuel
overtake you?
anyway, going behind a safety car.
Who's trying to overtake you? Well, then again, saying that, Antonelli might have done because he's setting up a fastest lap behind a safety car.
Yeah, I saw that pop up a lot. What? Why are you all doing the same speed? How does this work?
I really don't. And the worst thing is, like, I think the last time we mentioned it, it was somebody like in third or fourth. He was in 19th. I'm like, how have you set the fastest lap in 19th? This is ludicrous.
He must have had so much clean air in front of him.
Yeah. But he's mad. I'd like to actually know the lap times for how he set the fastest lap and how quicker he was than the rest of the field because it couldn't have been much.
Nah, it's got to be like, what, 10,000s, maybe 100,000ths of a second.
If that, yeah. But mad.
The person who had the worst start on the grid was Lance Stroll.
Oh, surprise.
Mate, he just went bop, 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 bop. And I was like, well, how'd you go so bad? And yet, when he got into slicks, he was amazing. Again.
But he can't drive in the wet. I've said this all along. Whenever he's on a wet track, he either spins or crashes out, or he goes that slow, he's overtaken.
Yeah. I mean, look at Brazil last year when he come to the Center S, and for some unknown reason, he just went straight on.
Yeah. he can't corner. He just can't. I'm not going to say he's a bad driver because he's not, but like, he only can drive in certain conditions, and that's him. That's why he'll never be a world champion. That's why he'll never get a move to a really decent team.
Unless his dad buys a company.
Or that, yeah.
So yeah, we got onto was it lap 2? Well, no, sorry, lap 5 by the time they started racing. And then you had Piastri overtake Lando. Lando was then under attack by Max, and then Leclerc came. No.
Do you know what was weird about that first move from Piastri on Norris? I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's no DRS. Why does it look like you're gaining with DRS? And then all of a sudden, it was that wet. I thought, shit, he's gone into the back of him here. Because the maneuver was that close. I was going, oh my God, how's he managed to get away with that? But I literally had thought both of them had collided. I'd like to see a still onboard photo of that gap before he actually goes round the outside of him because it couldn't have been any bigger than 6 inches.
Well, Hamilton did that with Lawson, didn't he?
Yes. Oh my God.
That was so close. I thought he was going to go straight into the back because Lawson. It's fair play to Lawson. He held his line. He held the
Yeah.
line. It was Lewis that was going for it, and he still got past him. But he was like, "Oh, that was close."
I mean, like, especially in wet conditions, to like know that if the car twitches, that's it, you're finished. But like,
Yeah.
oh, that was mad. It really was.
Yeah, and then like I said, you had Piastri just went, and he was gone. And then you had like, was it
What was
Max and
weird is
Leclerc attacking
Piastri was
Norris?
Piastri was already at a DRS range on lap
Yeah,
6. So one
he was
lap
like
in,
two
he's gone.
seconds ahead, wasn't
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
he? And then thankfully for Lando, Max and Charles started to fight each other,
Yeah,
which then allowed Lando to pull above 1 second out of the way. I mean, you couldn't use DRS until was it lap 14, 15, something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah, it was quite late on, weren't it?
Yeah, which is when everybody started going onto slicks. I mean, we'll get to that in a minute because I don't know what Hamilton did, but he pulled off.
But do you know what?
Off
Again,
the strategy. He
this is
pulled off
what
the
I say.
strategy of the day.
This is what I say. Like, a lot of people don't like Lewis Hamilton, and I understand it. He, for me, is the best wet F1 driver you will ever see. Everyone
Yeah.
is struggling on that track. He's jumped up 3-4 places in 4 laps.
Oh yeah, he had an amazing 4 laps was it?
Yeah. From
Like I
lap
said, he went
7
from
to lap
18th.
10.
He was going into 9th. Then he come in for slicks. He came out, and when everybody else came in for slicks, he was in 7th.
Yeah.
He gained a place because of the undercut.
And the worst thing was, before that, he'd already made up from, I think, 18th to 14th.
9th, I think.
No, he
9th,
went
I
up to
think,
14th, weren't it?
because he overtook
Hulkenberg to go up to 14th.
Lawson. Yeah, then he took Lawson as well before he came in for his slicks. And Lawson was 9th, I think.
Yeah, because he boxed on lap 12, which I thought,
Yeah.
early. First one to
I
make the
thought this is
call.
early.
I thought
Because
first
he
one to
came in
make the
with
call.
Hulkenberg, Gasly, and somebody else.
Yeah, but I was sitting there and I was going, do you know what? Fair play, like, he's gambled. He's got nothing to lose in this race. He's that far down. He's got to do something. So he's gambled. And to be fair, the gamble played off. Because he came in first. Then, like you say, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Gasly, all dived in. And I was like, okay, yeah, brilliant. And then who was it? Leclerc nearly crashed into the Williams of Hadjar in the pit lane. How that wasn't investigated as an unsafe release, I will never know.
Yeah, because I know when he came in ahead of Max, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be close. They've got to get him out." And then it was Albon in the Williams that was coming down, and they released him, and I was like, "Wanga, that's all unsafe," because Albon had to anchor the brakes on.
Yeah.
But he got out in front of Max. He would have got out in front of Max anyway, because I don't know what was going on there. Sort of had some sort of issue.
Yeah, it was, again, it was mad. But like you say, you know, that was when DRS was enabled, I think, just after those first rounds of slick, so about that 13. But like I said, Hamilton was up to 7th after that, weren't he?
Yeah, his drive was.
Before we go any
The
further in
only
the
way
race,
that could have been better was, remember when he did it in Brazil and he started 20th and finished first?
yeah,
That's the only way that could have been better.
Unbelievable drive. But again, we've got to go back to McLaren here. So everyone's pitted. They're coming onto slicks over the 2 laps. Lando Norris and McLaren seem to have this reoccurring problem with the front left.
Yeah.
Why? Every single race.
But did you watch them put it on? They put it out. They come in from an angle.
Yeah. Well, they had to gun it on.
Trying to put it on an angle. I'm like, no, straight.
Well, they had to gun it on, ungun it, and then re-gun it again. I was just like, come on.
I have to ask the question, though, because the medium tyres got to the end of the race. Why did they stick Lando on hards?
I think it was because of the stint. I don't think they were going to plan to bring Norris back in, because at that point, I think Piastri was something like 7-8 seconds ahead of him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the way Piastri was flying and Norris weren't, I thought Piastri's going to get enough here where he'll be able to pit, get another set of tyres, and still come out comfortably. That didn't happen. Luckily, he got to the end on it. But
yeah,
it was a weird one.
Yeah, because I was like, when they said, like, quickly, do you want to go on hards? I was like, why? You know, if they're saying, who was it? Oh, somebody in the pit, I can't think of who it was, said the mediums will make it to the end if they're clever.
But again, you have to nurse them tyres, don't they? And
yeah,
I understand it. And this, when I say like team orders without giving team orders, these are the things I'm talking about. Like, you've got two drivers both competing with each other, and I can't say it is the case, but it's almost like McLaren want Piastri to win this because he seems to have the better setup of a car. He seems to have the better tyre selection. And it's just like, So although you're not saying he's our number one driver, he's getting all the preferential treatment. So I'm a bit, yeah.
McLaren to Red Bull next season, mate.
Oh, who knows? It could
sorry, not McLaren, Lando.
Norris, yeah. But like I said, after that mess up on his front left, he's 6 seconds adrift of Piastri.
Yeah, he did really well to pull it back. I mean, what was it? 2 seconds behind in the end?
Do you know what though? He made some costly errors, and that was the undoing. And I've got them in my notes. To be fair, I've got where is it? Lap 34. Norris slowly closing the gap, and then like towards the end of the race, like you say, I'll put Norris as lap 43. Norris admitted defeat. He's 4 seconds behind Piastri. It looks like the costly errors will stop him winning this race, and I still believe it. If he hadn't have made the costly errors he did, he could have won that race. It'd have been nice to have 2 laps of pure battling between them two.
Yeah.
I think in total, they were saying he lost 2.4 seconds.
Which I think he was almost behind him.
Yeah.
By the end of the race. I don't know. I can see it being sort of like a Rosberg-Hamilton sort of rivalry in the second part of the season.
Yeah.
Probably not taking each other out because I kind of feel like Zach Brown will just bang their eggs together. But
probably. Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? You can't afford to lose either one of them drivers, which is tough. But at the same time, you've got to allow them to do what they want to do. You've got to allow them to race. And I think they have done that. And I hope that continues. But it's a tough one. I mean, lap 15 for me was the one. Lewis is still down in 7th. He's still lapping quick. And then he's quicker than everybody on the track by 7 tenths of a second in the wet again. And you're looking going, what a driver. What a driver.
Yeah.
But at the same time, him doing that, Haas had a nightmare, dropping both their drivers from, to 14th and last, from 7th and 13th, respectively. So, what's gone so wrong?
Who lost out, mate?
Who?
Well, I was going to say Esteban Ocon lost out the most because when he pitted, he was 4th and then he was 20th.
He's a harsh driver, though, isn't he? That's what I mean. They had a mare.
Yeah. I think they pitted him too late.
Oh, definitely. I think they were the last to pit. So everyone came in last 12, 13. I don't think they came into 14. But by then, DRS is enabled. So all these cars that are close are getting an extra 10 kilometres down the drag when they've come in for a pit. So they lost out massively.
Yeah, and they had a great weekend, Haas, apart from that moment there.
Yeah. I have got a funny clip of the day, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. And this was lap 17. Max gets on the team radio. And I quote, so I had to write it down word for word. The clipping on the main straight is shockingly shit.
Yeah, I love the fact the commentator went, the clipping, Martin?
Yeah. I was just like, oh my days. I actually sat there chuckling. I was like, I like that. I like that. Oh, man. And then, as I said to you, go on, sorry.
Come on, carry on, mate.
As I said to you in the race, I'd never noticed this before. And the F1 fans that are listening to us, maybe someone spotted it before we have or can shed some more light on it. I didn't know and have never known, never seen a pit box that is slightly angled until today. So I noticed this on lap 21 when Hadjar pitted for the racing balls. And I was just like, that's weird. Never seen that before. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that now because that's actually intrigued me. I mean, pulling in must be great, but trying to pull out seems a bit weird.
Mate, we need to go down to Silverstone and just go, can we have a look at your pit boxes, please?
Yeah, I think that's it. If anyone's listening and works at Silverstone and can get us that access, would be greatly appreciated. But I just did it. I was like,
go on.
I was like, am I being stupid here? Have I missed this like all these years I've been watching F1, or is this just a one?
I've never noticed it, mate. I've always thought they were just square. They came in and boom. Yeah.
I mean, even when you see from the camera lens at the front of the car, they look square. Today, you could see, oh, they're actually on an angle here. Because at one point he pulled in and I thought, are they retiring his car here? And then when I changed his tyres, I was like, why did he pull in on an angle? Yeah, I was quite puzzled.
See, somebody I know was on about somebody. Well, at work today, and he was on about the Grand Prix, and he said, "Why don't they go back to how it used to be, where the front 10 started on the other side of the hairpin, and the back 10 started the other side, sort of thing, like how it used to be. So where like the
Yeah.
back 10 could have a disadvantage because they'd already have to go around the corner." I was like,
Yeah.
He said, "Well, yeah, we'll just stick the fastest 10 at the back and the slowest 10 at the front." So when they get to on routes, it's a massive pile up.
Yeah. Do you know what? That'd actually be a good way to change F1, wouldn't it? So however you qualify, you reverse the order. Imagine that. Piastri and Verstappen, the back two on the grid. He'd have been on the second row. He'd have been on the second row today. Oh,
God, Lance Stroll would have been on pole in a few races.
No, please don't say that again.
Hang on. All right, I'll make it even better. Pastor Maldonado would have been on pole in a few races.
That is disgusting. That is disgusting. I have no words for that man. Probably working at a fairground somewhere on the bumper cars.
I used to drive quicker than them. Only just.
Yeah, mad.
So for me, the three drivers I actually watched today was Behrman, Bortoleto, and Gasly. Them three stood out for me.
Yeah, well, I think they were pretty decent, to be fair. I mean, there's a few drivers that you expect it from. I mean, I got to shout out Lando Norris today because he's gone on a hard tyre, which isn't the greatest compound, as we know, but it's durable. And for some reason, he's lapping quicker than anybody else on the track. And I'm sitting there going, he's making this look like he's on the right tyre and everyone else is on the wrong tyre. That was just mental.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any more moments that you can think of?
I just said lap 25. Norris setting fastest laps on high compound tyres while the rest of the field are on softs, except Hadjar, but still 6 seconds short of qualifying time set by Piastri. So they were lapping in the 146s at that time. The funniest moment for me of the Grand Prix was lap 27, where the commentator says the youngest driver has now just got past the oldest driver on the grid, on about obviously Antonelli and Alonso. I was like,
Alonso had an awful race, didn't they?
Yeah, it just didn't do much. Again, I don't know. I think he's just he's not, because he's not in the sport for the money. But that's how it would appear. He's just happy sitting there taking the money. Don't care where he finishes. He's getting paid.
Yeah.
But like we say, as we spoke about him before, he's a great driver. But the minute it's just like, you're just a mid runner, mate. You're nothing more than that.
Yeah.
And then again, I think
him in like a racing bull or something.
Yeah, I think in a better car, a bit more hunger. I think, yeah. But like again, like the weirdest moment of the Grand Prix for me was this one, and I'm sitting there, and I'm, as you know, I pull weird faces. Everyone that watches the podcast will see that. Lap 28, Carlos Sainz is given a final warning for track limits. I'm like, Carlos Sainz, he's sitting in 19th, and he's 4 seconds ahead of last place. Why is he exceeding track limits? What is wrong with this guy? The guy in front of him was 21 seconds up the road. I'm thinking, mate, what are you doing? I was like, please, can someone help me out here? Have I missed the point? I could understand if he's going for like the podium, but he's in 19th position.
I don't want to finish last.
Yeah, I was just like, nah, this just isn't right. I'm like, what is going on? And then again, a couple of laps later, obviously he's been told about his final warnings on 28. Lap 32, him and Colapinto are the fastest drivers on track with the fresh sets of tyres that they pitted for.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And like Piastri, who was leading the Grand Prix, was lapping 0.8 of a second slower than both of those drivers in the middle section. I'm like, is he still breaching track limits? How has he gone from being warned to being the fastest man on the track?
See, I understand when drivers used to jump in, like, say, 4 laps before the end and put on softs because you used to get a point for the fastest lap. They don't do that no more.
Yeah.
So I used to get that, but now it's like, well, why are you sticking softs on? All right, you're 18th place. Why are you sticking softs on? Because when you come out, you could be 20th.
Yeah, like you might as well just risk what you've got on.
Yeah. Unless they're seriously like, oh my God, they are shredding. Then you come in. But I mean, did you see Lando's tyres, intermediates, when they took them off?
Yes.
No tread at all on them.
But again, the start of the race, that formation lap, going back to it, they all went out on softs and hard compounds and ruined a set of tyres on the wet because they just couldn't drive in them. They come back and was like, yep, they're no good. They've got to be swapped. They've got to be gone.
See,
So
Martin Brundle
made
made a good point. Why do they have wet tyres? They never use them.
No.
It's like I said about 4 or 5 years ago, they had something called monsoon tyre.
Yes.
Never used it. Never used the wet. All they used was intermediates, hards, mediums, and softs.
Do you know what I think that is, though? They have a wet tyre because we have wet Grand Prix, but the FIA, when it's wet, won't start a race. So, like you said, that tyre is absolutely pointless.
Okay, for anybody who's wondering what a wet tyre is, it's like a really deep groove. So it allows the water to go through, whereas a slick tyre is literally, it looks as shiny as hell.
Yeah.
Intermediates has got a smaller tread, which grips the road a bit more, but yeah, it's like, I mean, do you remember the super soft tyre they used to do?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, they only use them in F2 and F3 now.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. They used to fall apart so quick.
Yeah, it's last about 10 laps. It's like if you were doing a race stop and you had like 9 laps left, they used to just put them on, didn't they?
Yeah. Again, like for the last 7, 8 laps of a Grand Prix, they were brilliant, but like they're no good for trying to wear in and do a stint on them.
Right. Quick stat.
Still haven't finished yet, so
you've got.
No, it's all right. You've got obviously the lap 35, the message to Norris to say don't push the tyre too much, just keep losing time. Was that smart? Or was that trying to force the team orders without saying it's the team order again? I'm a bit. The more I listen to their messages to each driver, I'm like, this is definitely favouring Piastri. So, and then was he lap 36? Antonelli gets past Ocon, but goes that wide as he catches the curb, and Ocon takes that place back. I was like, right, okay, brilliant. The most exciting thing in towards the end of the Grand Prix. And then the bit that made me laugh again, Leclerc team radio, lap 39. Max is 1.2 seconds behind you, mate. To which he responds, leave me alone.
He's turned into Kimi Räikkönen,
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, he must have realised, hang on a minute, that's not the right thing to say. He's like, you just got to keep it consistent with me. Either he's too close or he's too far. And I was like, well, they've just told you that he's gaining on you, so they want you to up your speed.
Now, Alex Albon's turned into the new Kimi Räikkönen. We've got a 10-second drive-through penalty. What for? We got a 10-second drive. What for?
Yeah. Oh my God. They are funny. But then, like I say, that was it for me. Lap 41, like I say, Norris was 4 seconds behind Piastri at this point. He realised he weren't going to catch him. And then the costly errors stopped him even being in towards the end of the race. It'd have been nice. If he'd have made them errors, I think the last 2 laps would have been exciting, but they didn't. And then, Norris admitted defeat, and Piastri comes away with a win and puts himself nicely in the driver's seat to be leading for next week's Grand Prix.
Yeah. Where are they next week?
Hungaroring.
Oh, yeah. The Hungaroring. Ooh.
Yes. Beautiful.
Great, beautiful shaped track that is.
I actually seen something the other day. I don't know if I sent it, yeah. When F1 drivers go to the gym, how they select the shape of a track, and they get a resistance band and just drop it on the floor, and it sort of forms a shape, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a good track, we'll have that. And I was just like, okay.
Oh look, it's got a hairpin bend there, that'll do.
Yeah. It's a weird one, but yeah, so like I said, for me, Spa, one of my favourite Grand Prix. It probably wasn't this year.
See, my question to you was it the worst race of the season? I think it's an easy yes from me.
Yeah, it's up there definitely. Like I say, for a track that's excitable normally, a lot of overtaking, a lot of back and forth in. We just didn't get it, and we can't even say it was the weather because yes, okay, the first 5 laps behind the safety car didn't help, but then everyone's on inters. We're still racing. Lap 15, we've gone on to slicks. You've still got 20 odd laps, 24 laps, 25 laps to get out there and do something. And it seemed to, we've seen more overtakes on inters than we did on slicks. Now that shouldn't happen.
No, it shouldn't. Inters is there to stop you from overspeeding, really.
Yeah.
Whereas
So
slicks
yeah,
are there. Slicks, that's what slick is. It's slick. It just grooves off the track. It's meant to make you go faster.
but like I say, it's for me probably one of the most disappointing Spa Grand Prix I've seen.
Right, driver of the day, mate. I'll come to my stat in a minute, but driver of the day.
I'm gonna give a shout out to a couple that missed out because I think Albon had a very good race.
Yep,
Came home in fifth, sixth, I believe.
sixth.
Behind,
Yeah, very consistent driver this weekend.
yeah. And then obviously Lawson, Bortoletto, Gasly making up the top 10 that again normally wouldn't be in there.
Yeah,
See, I want to give Ocon a shout out because I think he had a good race until they pitted him for tyres too late and ruined his race. But
yep.
for me, my driver this weekend, I am going to stick to my guns. I was tempted to say Leclerc because I think holding off Verstappen, getting away from him, managing that situation was good. But I'm going to have to go with Lewis. I think the drive he
Yeah.
had in the wet and on the inters, he just seemed to be. It was like he had the best car on track and everyone else was a country mile behind him. He was just
Yeah,
breezing through.
absolutely. See, for me, I was going to say Leclerc just because of, do you know when he went wide at the hairpin? And we
Yeah,
all thought Max was going to have him, and he pulled away from Max. And I thought, how have you done that?
I still
But
have no theory for that.
I've got to say, Lewis Hamilton. The way he qualified, the weekend he's had, he proved today he can drive, and he
Yeah.
deserves to be in the Ferrari seat.
Oh,
You know,
100%. Anyone
I mean,
questioning his desire and commitment to the sport still, today's proof that he still desires, he's still got commitment to this sport. He still wants to be there competing. He's not just there
yeah,
taking money.
yeah. I mean, my notable was obviously Charles Leclerc, Ollie Behrman. I mean, he finished 11th, I think, in the end. Um, and Bortoletto. I think Bortoletto had a great drive this weekend.
Yeah, again, he's put himself in the last 3 races. He's put himself in the points and in the top 10. So, again, shout out to the young man.
He just had a blip at Silverstone. That was it. It was just a
Yeah.
blip. It wasn't Austria was a one-hit wonder. No, you just had a blip. Hulkenberg just outdrove you. He just outshone you at Silverstone, and
Well, at one point, Hulkenberg was ahead of him, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah,
And
that was
he
when the pit
seemed
stops
to,
happened, and
yeah,
he lost that.
brought him out in dirt. Yeah.
Drive of the weekend.
Oof. Mm. For me, I think driver of the weekend has to go to the man in the Williams of Alexander Albon.
Okay.
For a guy that's relentlessly known for being in that bottom 6, 7 drivers, I think he's had a brilliant weekend. I do.
Yeah, for me, Pierre Gasly. All weekend, it's just like I said, under the radar. I mean, I did write Ollie Behrman around, but the more I spoke to you, the more I'm
Yeah.
thinking Pierre Gasly. Because Ollie had a great weekend, Albon had a great weekend, and Pierre Gasly had a great weekend. I even had a great race.
Do you know what, I think this is a tough one because you've got quite a few. I mean, Liam Lawson had a good weekend.
We had a pretty good weekend, yeah.
So there's a few. Do you know what I mean? I mean, both Harseys, good weekend until the race. Again,
Yeah.
factors out of their control. But again, another good weekend, both Kick Sauber drivers, Hulkenberg,
Yeah.
Bortoletto.
Yeah.
There's quite a few that, you'd sort of look and go, any one of them could have had it this weekend.
Yeah. Right, do you want my stat for this?
I do, let's go.
Right. Ollie Behrman has the most overtakes this season. Do you know how
Alabama.
many? It is? Yeah. Do you know how many it is?
What, we're in round 13. I'm going to
Hmm?
go. Yeah, I'm going to say 126.
Not far off, mate. 116.
Oof, not bad, is
Ready
it?
for this? Ready for this?
Yeah.
16 of those were in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Jesus Christ.
He overtook 8, went in the pits, and then he overtook 8 again.
Wow.
And still finished 11th.
See, again, that's another stat that defies the logic, doesn't it? But again, we know.
Yeah.
That is a very good stat, to be fair. I didn't know that.
No, I found that one out. I think it was about 5, 10 minutes before we came on. I was like, oh, I'll have a look because I saw it come up. I was like, no. So I had a look and yeah.
That's
Right.
impressive, that is.
Yeah.
See, for me, the one lad that the overtaking king, as I call him, but never raced for anybody decent was Kamui Kobayashi. That guy
Oh, what's a
knew
driver?
how to overtake people. But he also
Monaco,
knew,
mate.
yeah, he also knew how to go backwards.
Monaco was his best. It was his best track, not his best race. His best track was Monaco. He always finished in the top 5.
Yeah, he was something special.
Yeah, the hairpin just coming out of the tunnel. He always found an overtake there where there shouldn't be an overtake.
He's the equivalent of what Max Verstappen was when he first started driving, where he'd see a gap, put his nose in there, and didn't give a crap what happened. He always came out shining, though. Bit
Pretty
like,
much.
bit like Max Verstappen.
Also, did you know we've now got 45 members on our group?
Wow, we're closing on that 50. I wonder who's going to be the 50th.
So, guys, seriously, yeah, this was our review of
A very disappointing Spa Grand Prix.
great drivers. Disappointing.
Yeah.
So yes, guys, thank you for all the love you showed me and Louis. We just literally talk here just for fun, really. We will do a darts podcast soon. We've had some artwork sent to us by Lisa, which looks amazing. And guys, if you haven't, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, Facebook. Seriously, just share it to anybody you know or think would like to listen to it. If you want to be on a podcast, come on. Give us your opinion. Talk to us about a sport that probably me and Louis don't know about. We spoke about cricket earlier, and Louis was like, well, I'll just ask questions about cricket.
Like I say, I'm a sports fan. I don't claim to know a lot about every sport. I've got my topics on sports I do enjoy, I do like. But again, I'm also open to asking questions or somebody educating me on the stuff I'm not too clued up on.
Yeah. So if you guys want to come on, say a cricket one, let us know. A darts one, a boxing one, a NFL, rugby. NFL, I'll just sit back and let you and Louis talk.
I will tell all the viewers a little secret. Yesterday I was watching the British and Irish Lions against the Wallabies. Now, I'm not into rugby at all. I don't watch it. I don't pay any attention to it. But I was sat there watching it and I was just, let's see, there's nothing else on. Towards the end of that game, we are behind on points.
Yes.
We score a try and I'm jumping up and down and punching the air like my football team has just scored the winner at Wembley. And I'm sitting there going, why is that happening? Yeah, like never ever have I done that with rugby until yesterday. I just don't know why. I really don't. But yeah, it was quite fun actually. Yeah.
Right. So thank you for listening, guys. We will try and get 2 podcasts out every week. One at the beginning, one at the end. Like I said, we'll do. I don't know. We'll talk about what we're going to do off camera. I'm not sure, but we'll post it up next.
We'll get it sorted.
Yeah. So thank you very much for listening and watching, guys. Remember to like, love, caress, whatever you want to do to our channel.
Subscribe. Press the bell as well on YouTube for notifications.
Absolutely. And we will see you in the next episode.
We will do. Appreciate your time, guys. Speak to you all soon.
Ciao.
See you later.